Hello and welcome to this recording of our webinar at the beginning of this week. It's now Friday the 22nd of May, but on Monday the 18th of May we kicked off Kindness Week, which is part of Mental Health Awareness Week 2020, with a webinar. And all of our events this week have been designed to address the question, how will we sustain kindness? Because I'd like that not to be something we just hope for, but something we can and do something about. And we started the week acknowledging that we may not find all of the answers, but on the principle that we create our own futures and we're stronger together. Let's work together to try and find some of those answers. And one of the principles of appreciative inquiry is that change is more likely if people feel good about it. So our main objective this week is to feel good, to have great conversations and connections here and beyond, and through those conversations and connections to help to sustain and grow kindness throughout this period and into the future. So who we have with us today on this recording, and they were live on the webinar panel on Monday to kick off the week's events. A wonderful panel of really experienced and interesting thought leaders from all sorts of fields. So the first speaker you're going to hear in this recording is Kim Conchi, who's the Chief Executive of Cornwall Chamber of Commerce and also on the Board of Trustees of the Cornwall Community Foundation, among other things, and roles in the community. Emma Rose is the chair of the Board of Trustees of Volunteer Cornwall, so has been, as have all of their volunteers, been hugely involved in helping and offering kindness and support to various communities around Cornwall over the last few weeks and months. And Emma is also on the Board of Trustees of the Voluntary Sector Forum, which also has a similar mission to connect people in the voluntary sector. Ben Charnow is a senior psychiatrist with lots of experience advising mental health and occupational health boards in the UK and beyond over the last 20 years. Helen Tite is a wellbeing anarchist and founder of I Care, I Move, which is a health and wellbeing training provider supporting people who work in care. And finally, our musical panellists today are Our Atlantic Roots, a singer-songwriter duo from Newquay who've worked and played at our festivals before, Mac and Laura, wonderful musicians with a particular interest in kindness and well-being, and with a brand new single which they'll be sharing with us live later on, which they've written for lockdown, during lockdown. So a really fabulous panel. I really hope you enjoy everything they have to say. I know, because this is a recording, it was wonderful, and we've been talking about it all week ever since, but it's here for you to enjoy as well. Thank you to our partners, the Chamber of Commerce, the Cornwall Chamber of Commerce, and Volunteer Cornwall, and also Alison Flanagan Coaching for your advice and support in setting up all of these events. So our agenda for today is, once I've completed my introduction, I'll hand over to Katie, who'll give an orientation to how the process is going to work and the mechanics of Zoom. And we'll then have our first panellist, which is Kim Conchi from the Chamber of Commerce, followed by a chance for some Q&A, so you can then ask Kim some questions. And then we'll run through our other four panellists with a collective Q&A after that, ending the show in about an hour and a half, roughly time, hour and 15 minutes perhaps, with a live performance from Our Atlantic Roots. And finally from me, I would just like to explain a bit about why we're talking about kindness and why the Mental Health Foundation have chosen kindness as their topic this year, and how they did have sleep lined up as the topic, also very important. They'll be coming back to that. But they chose kindness this week because I think there was so much kindness becoming apparent, and there's also more and more research about the benefits of kindness and how being good is good for us. So they've chosen kindness. Their CEO, Mark Rowland, says they've chosen kindness because of its singular ability to unlock our shared humanity. And I feel and believe that's what a lot of people have been experiencing over the last couple of months. Pretty strong statement, but goes right to the heart of what it is to be human and what it is to be kind. And that's good, and it's important. He also went on to say that kindness strengthens relationships, develops community, and deepens solidarity. And I think those three things, community, relationships, solidarity, are absolutely the foundation stones for sustaining what the social good that we want to sustain into the future. And I do also believe that with the right support, with the right connections, the right conversations, even in really challenging situations, we can come through challenges in some ways stronger than we went into them. And I'd even go as far as to say that, well, there is such a thing as post-traumatic growth. It's possible with the right support to come through even traumatic, challenging situations stronger than we went into them. And that's how important connections and support are. So we'll be talking about that today and throughout the week. It's really important to talk about things, and this is something the Mental Health Foundation have always been very clear about over the last few years. They've sponsored all sorts of research and events into why talking about mental health is so important. It's because we do create our own futures, and part of how we do that, it's not just what we do, but it's also what we think, what we feel, who we think about, who we interact with, and conversations and connections and the language we use bring all of that to the forefront of our minds. And these are muscles that we can develop. So it's worth exercising them and doing that on a regular, daily basis. Kindness is very much a social thing. It's something we do together. We can be kind to other individuals, but we can be kind towards groups. We can be kind even to the planet. And all of this is good for us. And in a more inward direction, in terms of who is responsible for kindness, it's not just down to individuals. I believe that groups and societies and whole nations, cultures can be kind, and governments can be kind. So we need to have these conversations at different levels and involving different people from different walks of life and working in different fields. But it all happens by talking about it, by sharing, by making connections. Kindness strengthens relationships, and relationships strengthen kindness. And that's what we're all about at Cornwall Festivals. That's what we're about today, and that's what we'll be doing. So enjoy watching these wonderful and inspiring talks. You can also see videos from the rest of the week, which we'll be posting, and have some great conversations and a very good week. And if you're on a Friday like I am at the moment, a very good weekend. I'll hand over to Katie now to continue. Thank you.